Hi guys, I'm Mombolua. I'm a Zambian beauty and wellness content creator based in Los Angeles. I sat down to film this video on the 27th of May, which happened to be the Fenty Beauty Africa launch day after a long break from the internet. So I was already delicate and drowning in my imposter syndrome. Then I saw the girls at the Fenty Africa launch in Lusaka, and me and this wig said, nope. And I went to bed. I'm back. This time, I'm sharing the best of Fenty Beauty, what to buy and what not to buy for your skin type. This is not about Rihanna, the artist that we know and love. This is about her business, Fenty Beauty, Fenty Skin. The girls need to know about Fenty Beauty. Also, fair warning, all the Fenty Beauty products in the world will not make us Rihanna by association. So calm down and let's really talk about beauty. I'm going to be sharing my entire Fenty Beauty collection with you. So some of my favorites, some of my not so favorites, and everything in between. I'm going to start with complexion. But before I get into the complexion products, I really want to say that there's not going to be any Fenty Skin in this video, only for the simple reason that if you guys follow me on my Instagram, you will know that I did try the Fenty Skin when it first launched, and I had to take it back because it had fragrance, and I am terrified of any skincare products with fragrance because of contact dermatitis. I have sensitive skin, and even if you don't have sensitive skin, it is not the greatest of ideas for you to be putting on skincare products that have artificial fragrance on them. And the reason is you may not necessarily get contact dermatitis right now. 30 years from now, it may surprise you simply because you've been using fragrance on your skin long term. Rihanna at some point actually corrected this mistake, and she kind of went back and she actually created a fragrance-free line from the line that she had initially created from the Fenty Skin. I did not purchase that line because now I am satisfied and content with the skincare routine that I have curated for myself right now. So I haven't gone back to try Fenty Skin again. But from my recollection, out of the 3-4 products that she released from the Fenty Skin line, I would personally say the Fat Water was my favorite thing out of that line to have tried. It's full of niacinamide, which is a vitamin B, and the vitamin B works great for dark skin. So if you have dark spots every time you get acne, etc., or you have some tomboy scars that you want to get rid of, the niacinamide works great because it actually diminishes those scars after a little while. You know what I mean? So having said that, no skincare in this video. I'm going to be sharing my Fenty collection with you. I have a lot of makeup here to talk about, but I really felt like this is so important to share. When Fenty Beauty first launched in Africa, I expected the influencers to at least have some kind of beauty or skincare affiliation, but that wasn't the case. So I waited and waited. Crickets. And nobody has put anything up that is really worth watching. So it's really a guessing game. Nobody really knows what to do. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to be the guinea pig and we're going to talk about Fenty Beauty makeup. I'm going to give you my recommendations from my collection as a dark complected woman, chocolate and everything. And I'm going to share what I like from the Fenty Beauty collection, what's great and what's not. Side note, I have dry skin. So all of my advice or all of my likes for these products are going to be dry girl friendly, but I will still give oily girls recommendations based off of what I can see is great for the dry skin girls, if you know what I'm saying. If you're like me and puberty hit you hard, and I mean so hard that you ended up getting stretch marks on your shoulders and your upper arms, then you're going to need some body sauce. The body sauce is a body foundation. So if you are going out on the town and you're wearing something that is a little short on your skin, you know, your legs, you're going to be wearing your legs out, your arms are going to be exposed, and you have stretch marks, you have varicose veins. I'm talking anybody from 18 to God knows how old, you know, you are. If you're into beauty, Beauty, you could probably pull this off. I say this because a lot of women with mature skin have a lot of skin related problems outside of pimples and blemishes. I'm talking varicose veins, I'm talking stretch marks, you name it. So what I do is I wear a body foundation on my arm when I'm wearing tops like this. I put a little pump and I actually just use my fingers and I kind of just rub that onto my skin. It's a little watery and messy. I do use a body foundation brush, but for the sake of this video, I really want to go in with my hands just to show you guys the texture, the formula, the smoothness, and all of that great stuff, and just let you guys see what the product does in itself. It's very beautiful. It goes down to I think about 7 to 9 shades if I'm not mistaken. So there's a shade for everybody. And what I do is when I wear this, when I'm wearing a tank top or anything that just exposes my arms or sometimes my legs, I will put on my body oil as well to go over it. I usually go in with the Tom Ford Soleil Blanc, or I'll go in with like a Huda Beauty, because they've got these very fine glitters in them. So they make your skin glow without making it so obvious that you're wearing glitter. And as an adult, glitter can be very intimidating. Doesn't look flattering, girl, at all. Yeah, so if you can tell, I put that on this side of my arm. There's not so much on this side, even though I did apply some earlier on, but you get the point. So I would probably like go in and I would wear my body oil on top. I would spray that on and I would just apply that, and it looks so good. The best part about this is that it doesn't mess up your clothing. It really doesn't mess up your clothing at all. You know, so you have that nice glowy skin. You know what I mean? You look like a glowing goddess, basically. It doesn't matter what age you are, but this looks great. So even if you just put on some basic olive oil in your skin, as long as it doesn't have that strong smell, you put some olive oil on, you put this on first, then put the oil on top. It'll give you that beautiful glisten. Look at that. If you had any scars to hide, any tomboy scars, any varicose veins, any stretch marks, boom, you're covered. So let's move on to the foundation. Basically, when Fenty launched in 2017, she launched with a foundation which was the soft matte foundation. I ran to the store at the time. I was in Malaysia and I hated it. I hated the foundation with all of my heart because I had dry skin and it sucked, to say the very least. That foundation was terrible, and the reason why was because it was not curated for my skin tone. Then later on, she revisited the foundation and she created the hydrating version, the Pro Filter Hydrating Foundation, which was more suited for my skin tone because I have dry skin. So I picked up 2 shades, 450 and 470. 450 I wear in the colder months of the year because there is no sun, so I don't burn as much. I have very warm olive skin, even though I'm a deeper complected girl. So in the warmer months, I tend to get more red. I wouldn't say these foundations are full coverage per se, but they are perfectly suited for a dry skin girl because they sit on the skin. They give you that luminosity. You know, that perfect luminosity that allows you to feel like you are glowing. You're wearing a healthy layer of skin. And you know, for those girls who are out there saying, oh my God, you know, like it's so obvious when you're wearing makeup. Makeup is visible. I mean, there's makeup out there that is so great. It'll come very close, very, very close to being like your skin. But the fact of the matter is, when you wear makeup, it's supposed to be seen. It should be seen, but it doesn't have to look terrible. It can actually look beautiful, mimic the complexion of your skin, or at least look like your skin, but better. And I feel like this foundation does that for me. It's hydrating enough that it doesn't make my skin look dry. I'm actually wearing the foundation right now. I'm wearing the shade 470 on my skin. So if you are of a very like deep complexion, this deep complexion like I am, deep neutral for the most part, you could probably get away with wearing 450 or the shades 470, depending on what's going on at what time of the year. But I like this foundation. I really do. I'm gonna be very honest. I haven't worn this in a while only because I have several foundations to get through, but I have enough to go around and I've tried this enough to be able to have an opinion about what I like. If you have oily skin, buy the soft matte. If you have dry skin, stick to the hydrating Pro Filter. It's as simple as that. If you have dry skin and you do buy the soft matte, you're gonna hate it. Also, I noticed that on the Fenty website, this foundation in particular is on sale. And this is not to say that if you are of an oily complexion, you can't wear the hydrating version. The only thing is you would probably have to put a thin layer of powder on top of your primer before you put on this foundation, so you're not greasy, because there's some girls that are oily, and I mean really oily. Not to make fun of them or anything like that, but if you just put this on and don't prime your skin with a primer that preps your skin to block the oil from oozing out of your skin, then you are going to be greasy before it's noontime. So, but this, for me, as a dry skin girl, this is perfect for my complexion as a dry girl. My favorite complexion product out of the entire Fenty line would have to be the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop Blurring Skin Tint foundation. So this is essentially a skin tint. I have the shades 21 and 22. And again, just like the foundation, sometimes when it's a little warmer, I wear the one that's a little red. And sometimes when it gets a little cool, I wear one that's a little golden. I like this because it is extremely great. I put this on with my hands, actually. I just put a few drops on my skin and I kind of just rub it in. Look at how great it blends into the skin. The real reason why I like this product is because it actually is blurring. It's very difficult to see pores on your face because it has that blurring finish on your skin, and it's really real. It has no fragrance. This doesn't feel like a sheet of paint on your skin at all. So if you are one of those girls who has unproblematic skin, I don't want to categorize skin at this point in time because essentially anybody can wear this product. But if you have a day where you feel like you just don't need to wear makeup, or you're a girl who doesn't even wear makeup at all, but you just want something to help your skin, you know, just lift it up a little bit without having to feel like you're wearing makeup on, this would be the product. You put it on like lotion on your skin. You literally use your fingers and you apply it onto your skin and it just glides on beautifully, just looks like you're wearing lotion. Your skin, but better. It's so good. I mean, really good. When you're out on the town, out in the street, it doesn't feel like you've got anything on your face. It just feels like, you know, you put on some lotion or you put on some sunscreen, then you put this on, and then you go on about your day and you feel beautiful. Nothing extra, nothing more. And if you're of a mature complexion too, this does not make you feel more conscious than you already were because of the wrinkles that you have on your face. It just glides on beautifully and it just makes you feel like a queen. I don't have the Fenty concealer because for me, I found it a little too drying. So because I already have dry under eyes because of my dry skin, I kind of stir clear away from drier concealers and I like a more hydrating concealer. But when she did launch the Bright Fix eye brighteners, I picked 3 up because I knew I would like them because these are technically not concealers. They're actually not concealers at all. They just brighten the eye. They do have pigment and they're quite hydrating. They do move around a little bit because of their formula, you know, being hydrating and stretchy. But I really liked the Bright Fix in the shade Toffee because it has an orange hue. So if you look at it, depending on your complexion on the spectrum, this could actually be used. You see how that shears out into your skin? It just almost disappears. But you can use this to correct those parts of your face that are filled with hyperpigmentation, parts of your face that are naturally dark. I, for example, am a textbook example of that. My eyes, around and under my eyes and above my eyes, I have a darker complexion than the rest of my face. I also have darkness or hyperpigmentation around my mouth. So I don't have an even skin tone on my face. When I look at myself in the mirror, I would like to see a seamless complexion. What this does does is this adds that dimension. It adds the orange, because orange cancels out blue or black on your skin tone, which just seamlessly blends out your complexion. So when you put on your foundation, you don't have that dark layer that is peeking through your foundation because you would have color corrected. So I would use this as a color corrector and then follow up with my foundation on top. Or I would use this as a color corrector and then I would go in with the Fenty Skin Tint, which for that particular day, I'm feeling like I don't want to wear any makeup, but I do want to feel cute. So I throw that on. It doesn't matter what age you are. This is perfect. If you're a teenager and your mother does not allow you to wear makeup, this is also perfect. It's perfectly appropriate for you to put on as a nice little lotion on top of your skin. Nobody's going to question you. And I know in Zambia, the prefects can be very beefy. Honey, child, you ask me. Before I was a prefect, I was bullied to the core. Catholic schoolgirls, tell me about it. The next complexion product is my favorite complexion product of all time. Everything here on this table, I could live without except Rihanna's bronzers. I am a bronzer girl. And for the most part, not everybody knows what a bronzer is, what it does, why you should have a bronzer, and what just the essence of a bronzer is. So a bronzer is a makeup product that you use in the perimeter of your face. So you would wear this around your face, like on your forehead, your jawline, the sides of your nose, like I'm wearing. Sometimes I put it on my eyelids when I don't want to wear any eyeshadow. The bronzer is supposed to mimic a sun-kissed skin. So it's supposed to make you look like you just got off the plane, were on vacation, now you're back and your skin is glowing. This is also an appropriate product to replace your contour with. You don't have to wear a contour product every time you wear your makeup. You can use this on the side of your cheeks to give you that dimension, fullness in your cheeks, accentuate your cheekbones without having to use a contour. A bronzer is warm. A contour is cool because it's supposed to sculpt you. A bronzer is warm because it's supposed to bring out the glow in you. It's supposed to make you look like, damn girl, were you in Fiji? So I have two complexion shades here in the powder version, one in the shade Mocha Mami and the other in the shade Thick Mint. This is the latest addition to the bronzer line. And this shade particularly is the most important in the shade range in Africa, if you ask me, because most girls are of a deeper complexion. So Mocha Mami would be number 8 and Thick Mint would be number 9, which is the last shade. And I'm going to show you what they look like and I'll give you comparisons. Bronzers are supposed to be warm in complexion. So when you wear this on your skin, it's supposed to bring out the red in your complexion. Or if you have a fairer complexion, it's supposed to bring out the orange or the yellow in your complexion, the dark yellow in your complexion. For me and you, who's of a deeper complexion, it's supposed to bring out the red. When we get darker, we get redder. So brown and red gives that dark illusion. So this is what it looks like on my skin. You see that? It gives the illusion like, oh, I was in the sun, look at that. It just makes me look like, enriched with complexion. That's the shade number 8, which is Mocha Mami. And then we've got Thick Mint, which is also got a red hue to it. However, it looks almost purple, which is perfectly suited for my deeper complected girls because this is going to show up on your skin regardless. And it looks like that. So I go back and forth. Again, sometimes I'm in the mood for, a bronzer like that. And other times I should probably compare them side by side so that you can see if you're deeper in complexion. And I'm going to do a video and show you guys where to place your bronzer, why you're placing it in that area, and the difference between wearing a bronzer and not wearing a bronzer. But this is what the two look like. If you're of a fairer complexion than me, I would go with this Mocha Mami number 8, or I would even pick up number 7 and you can try that out in store. Or you could go in with number 9, which looks like that. For us deeper girls, it creates just these healthy shadows on your skin. It looks like vacation vibes. She also came out with the cream second version of those bronzers, and I have Toffee Tease right here, right? Looks like that. I had another one, ran out. It was covered. You know, it looked like mud. I could not show that on camera because it looked messy. So I actually picked up a new one for you guys so that you guys could look at it and see what it looks like. And I'm going to swatch it right now so you guys can see. It has a very balm-like texture, but also very pigmented. Look at that. And it looks, look at that. It has a beautiful balmy texture, and it actually blends into the skin. You spend a great enough time blending it, and it almost just absorbs into the skin. So these are the three bronzers that I have: the cream bronzer, the shade Mocha Mami, and the shade Thick Mint. I don't have very many brushes from Fenty, but the one brush that I felt I could talk about was the bronzer brush itself. This would be the Fenty bronzer brush in the shade 190, and I use this for my powder bronzer. I don't use this for my cream bronzer because the bristles on this brush are too soft to go in there. It would actually kind of like, you know, put the bristles together, and it wouldn't give you a seamless application. So for my cream bronzer, I like a brush that's a little more dense but flexible as well. But for the powder bronzer, look at how this is shaped. It fits right into the cheek. I actually washed this for you. I used it to apply my bronzer, but I washed this for you guys so that you could see how it fits perfectly into the cheek. You put that on and you can spread it, girl. Just keep going. You see, look at my cheek. Look how perfect it fits into the cheek. Look at that. Look at that. Oh! You see that? Beautiful. It works amazing for application of cream bronzer. You can also use this for your blush as well. And I know blush is a very scary subject for my girls out there because color on your cheeks when you're not used to wearing anything can look off. It can throw you off at any given point. But I encourage you guys to wear a little color on your cheeks. You know, it just enriches your overall vibe. Like I'm wearing a pink on my cheeks, but can you tell? Nope. Speaking of blush, I also wanted to share with you guys Rihanna's Cheeks Out, I believe is what it's called. Yep, Cheeks Out blush. So here's one example of the Cheeks Out. When I picked up the cream bronzer, I also picked up the Cheeks Out blush. It's also a cream formula. See, it looks like that. They're very sheer to the eye. It's very difficult for you to be able to see them. Still beautiful. It's visible enough that I can see it. So you can probably see it too. It's a very sheer formula and it shows up on your skin. You blend this in, take the butt of the beauty blender, dab it into your cream bronzer, and you just throw that onto your cheeks like that. This is perfect for people who have phobia of using cream products because it is such a friendly product for you to use for your cheeks as a beginner. You can't make any mistakes with this. You dab your beauty blender in there, and this is a perfect introduction into using cream products if you are terrified or have never used any cream products, depending on what country you're buying this from. In Zambia, $19 is a healthy amount of kwacha considering the exchange rate. So in this video, we're just not only discussing kwacha, we're also discussing quality. But as you can tell, see, it added a healthy glow to my cheeks. And I'm using my mirror down here. The mirror I'm actually using is a Fenty mirror. These are sold out actually, and she's never restocked them since. I use them a lot when I do my makeup tutorials or my makeup videos, or when I'm just getting ready in the morning. You know, I use it to look at myself in the morning and stuff like that. They are perfect. I've dropped them a gajillion times and they don't break ever at all, and I love them to death. We also have these Fenty matchsticks. I love the shade Espresso because I use that on the sides of my cheeks. I plop that in there and I use that to contour my cheeks to give me that beautiful definition. That's what Espresso looks like. This is also one of those Fenty products that is not necessarily my favorite product because it's not as creamy as it should be. So blendability, if you are a beginner, is a little tricky, but this is totally something that you can skip out on. It's not something that you necessarily have to have just for the sake of. And this is one of those things that I really would be okay with if she took these away from her collection in general. The other thing that I'm totally into is the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder. So I use the shade Honey, and it has a very golden yellow. It's thick, but not too thick. Not thick like the Huda Beauty setting powder. It's thick enough that it does what it needs to do. So I would say the oily girls would be very happy with this. But if you are of a dry complexion, I wouldn't go in with my beauty blender and kind of just dab that in there and put this under my eye. It would make it very difficult to blend. So what I like to do is I'll take a brush that looks like this, you know, very sparse hairs, thin, fluffy. I'll take that and I'll kind of just go underneath and I'll just use a little bit of that powder and tap that into my under eye if it feels a little greasy. Always remember, if you have dry skin, tap the excess off and you kind of want to go back in, you know, and dab that underneath your eyes or any place generally that you feel oily. And that's what it looks like, as opposed to just taking your beauty blender, dabbing that in there, or your puff, your sponge, whatever it is that you use, and just go right in there. And if you have oily skin, you can pull it off and get away with it because you can dust it off immediately. Another product I would recommend for oily skin girls would be the blotting powder that Fenty has. I don't use that because I feel like I don't need that. But if you have the blotting powder with some blotting paper or a blotting puff, you can use that product and put that under your eyes. It works phenomenal if you're an oily girl. I would personally recommend that because I have a few friends that have that little powder in the white compact. They pop it out at dinner. They take that and they dab it under their cheeks and their makeup looks like they just walked out of the store or off their vanity. It looks really fresh. So I would personally recommend that. The other complexion product that I'm really in love with, I don't wear this as often as I should. I actually have three. I have the 450 somewhere, but at the moment I have my 470 and 498. 498 being the darkest shade. I have 470 here, which is what I'm wearing now because here in California, it's very warm. So I wear the shade 470, looks like that on my skin. We're gonna put it right there. This is what I wear on my face. It looks like that. These also do oxidize. They kind of dry down darker and they're more redder in complexion. These are not finishing powders, and a lot of people get confused by what a finishing powder is and what a powder foundation is. This is a powder foundation. This would mean that if you do wear a foundation on, you would skip this. If you don't wear something like this and you just want a little powder on your face, you would wear this. This, by any means, is not something that you wear once you have finished your makeup on top to put your makeup together. That's what a finishing powder is. And it's something like the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. This is a finishing powder. So when you're done with all your goodies and your good stuff, you would go in with this and you would use that to kind of finish up. Join the blush line with the contour line with the concealer line, with the bronzer line, so that it looks seamless. It doesn't look like your lines are as harsh, and it just makes your makeup look like skin and like you woke up like that. That's the job of a finishing powder. They're not as pigmented as a powder foundation. And if you use a powder foundation on top of all of your hard work after putting on all of your makeup, you're essentially just wiping off all that hard work that you did, because these are extremely pigmented. So finishing powders, which Fenty does not have yet, we're going to reserve for the end of your makeup. This, on the other hand, you wear at the beginning of your makeup. But, and this is so funny, I picked up the shade 498 because lately, if you've noticed, the shade brown is popping right now for the eyeshadows. But I struggle to find the perfect brown, cool toned, warm toned for my eyes, so it actually shows up. This is what it looks like. So for me, a brown eye, you see that? You can actually see that on my eyelids. And I'm gonna go in with this guy right here, which is a fluffy brush, and kind of just blend that out so that you guys can see. I wear them on my eye just to darken my eyes a little bit and give me the look of a smoky brown eye, because black tends to be a little harsh. Brown is satisfactory. So I spent the money and bought a 498 so I can have a brown shade that I can use as a base forever and ever and ever and forever. So that's a complexion product, which we love as well. If you have the MAC powder, that's a complexion product too. You would wear that at the beginning of your makeup and not at the end of your makeup. Both products are beautiful. They're both finely milled, so they don't have texture to them when you put them onto your skin. I do find that the Fenty one is a little more textured compared to the MAC one, which feels a little more smooth to the touch. These are a little redder in complexion. The MAC ones tend to be a little more golden, but they both finish beautifully. Another favorite product from Fenty that I love, now we're just moving on to the wild side of Fenty. I'm talking about the Killawatt highlighters. And to be able to rock these on your cheeks, your eyes, or wherever you want to put them, you need to have personality. This is not for the boring girl. So for me, in general, I can get away with wearing some of these on my cheeks. I can't pull them off entirely on my cheeks, but I wear them on my eyelids. So I have a few of them. I have 8 of them in total. I have a few favorites, of course, but I'm just gonna share some of my favorites, which I have put on right there on my skin. I mostly wear these on my eyelids as opposed to wearing them on my cheeks because, whew, girl. So see, this is what they look like. Some of them are split. Oh, look at that. I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but they have shifts in them. Sometimes when you bend this over a little bit, I'm getting green, I'm getting purple, I'm also getting blue. Looks stunning. But this is in the shade Minted Mojito and Sandcastle. Gorgeous color. Here's the thing. I say if you are of a fairer complexion, dark skin, but of a fairer complexion, I would say pick Sandcastle and Minted Mojito up. It would look so stunning on your skin. If you are of a deeper complexion like I am and deeper, I would recommend picking up 7-Day Weekend and Poolside, and this is what it looks like. Jesus, every time I wear this, I get compliments non-stop. Look at that color. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Also has a shift. It's also so beautiful. It's purple. I popped a little bit of that in the corner of my eye to make that purple look. Mixed it with something else, but the point is I got some purple vibes in there going in the corner of my eye. And one of my favorite, which just so happens to be Rihanna's favorite too, would be Mimosa Sunrise and Sunset Sangria Sunset, and it looks like that. Look at that. Stunning. You can pop these on your eyes. I just plop a little bit onto my finger. I'm going to find a spot where we can put that, and look at that. Look at that. These are supposed to be highlighters, and that's the beauty of makeup. You can do so many things with one product. There are no rules. So these are supposed to go on your cheeks, technically, the bridge of your nose. You know, it just depends on what's going on. But you can put them on your décolletage. You can put them on your eyelids. It just makes everything so special. They look so beautiful. Love that. And then outside of the Kilowatts, she also has these amazing diamond bombs. So that famous dress that Rihanna put on, this was inspired by that. But yes, that dress inspired this. It's in the shade How Many Carats, and it looks like that. I'm wearing this on my skin. It's very shimmery. Looks like that. Stunning. If you are a night on the town kind of gal, you really do want to wear something like this because you're going to glisten and sparkle. It's just stunning. So she came up with different colors afterwards. One that's a little more coppery, and then she also released one that's a little more pink. Also, it just depends on what's going on, the vibe of it all. Finally, my favorite part, when I wanted to talk about the lips. I was going through my favorite lip products from Rihanna, and then I bumped into these little guys right here, which were part of her original lip collection. These were her lipsticks. I'm wearing the shade Single on my lips, which is a nude shade in the center, and then I have a brown liner from a different brand. But I thought about these guys, and these were such classics, you know, if you think about it. I like to wear candy during the warmer months of the year. It looks like that. Look at that. It's such a stunning pink to put on. Fave. I love it so much. The formula is beautiful, but she no longer stocks these and they're sold out completely. There's a few, 1 or 2 colors, maybe 1 color that's left, but that's just about it. You won't be able to get these colors anymore. But I have 3 liquid lipsticks that I wanted to talk about, starting with my favorite one, which would be the initial red lip that she launched in the shade Uncensored. I love this red lipstick so much that I have a backup for my backup, if you know what I'm saying. That's how great this is. Just in case something ever happens, I've got these 2 that I can rely on if anything happens. It's such a steaming red, looks just like the red on my hands. It's a perfect blue toned red, beautiful on dark skin, and that's what I love about it, because not all reds are created equally. I love this red lipstick so much. And then I picked up a brown at some point in time, which is more warm toned. It actually is a little more cool than it is warm, and also a mauve color, which is also cool toned, but they're liquid lipsticks. I prefer these formulas to the actual lipstick bullets that she has released in recent times. I went into the store, went in with the intention to buy these lipsticks so I could share them with you guys, but I just could not bring myself to buy the lipsticks because I just didn't like any of them. So I stuck with what I knew and what I loved, and here we are. I love the liquid lipsticks. I've shared the 3 colors that I love. The brown shade is in the shade Unveil, which is so beautiful, and then the mauve shade is in the shade Uncuffed, which is my favorite too. I'm running out of room here, but looks like that right there. Look at that. Very pretty on the lips. I have her glosses. Now with glosses, there are exceptions to the rule. If you want, you can buy a high-end gloss, but I find that with glosses, anything goes. If you're okay with buying an affordably priced gloss that you can repeatedly apply on your lips throughout the day, that's perfectly fine. But I find that glosses like these last. Rihanna has a clear gloss, which I absolutely love. This is in the shade Glass Slipper. This is a staple for me. I'm not wearing makeup. I'm wearing makeup. I can throw this on my lips and it changes the game. I'm wearing a red lip 1 minute and I add this on and this goes from a basic red to an amazing red just by adding on a clear gloss. And then of course we have different shades. I've got some in the cream. I actually have all of the 5 initial cream glosses that she had launched. I've got the red one and we've got the mauve one, which is essentially just a dark purpley pink color, which looks so good on dark skin. And then I've got a brown one. I've also got a very light pink one, which is such a fan favorite for all skin complexions. And then I have some of like her summer launches, which come in these little gloss packages, which is basically half of the bigger ones, and more of her standard, you know, glosses like the shade Fenty Glow and the shade Fussy, which is also one of my favorites. I think that would be that as well, which is also very pretty. You can pop this on your lips like Fussy. See, these are like my everyday perfect rotation. Oh, one more thing before I go away. These 2 products, which are really important. If you are a eyeliner kind of girl, these are your guys. Blacker Than Black. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's right there. And she also has a brown one, which is Big Truffle, I believe is what she called it, which looks like that. So if you are looking to wear something brown, you will probably want to pick up something like that. And if you are looking to wear a black liner, something like that would be conducive for you. But her eyeliners are great because they don't skip, which is what I like about a liner. And this is black and dark enough that you can actually see on my complexion or on girls that are deeper than my complexion too. So I actually really like her fly liners, is what she calls them, because they are really good. I do recommend. To conclude this video, a product that I cannot live without from this entire Fenty collection, I would probably have to go with the bronzers. If I could pick 3 products, I would have to go with Fenty's Skin Tints and the red lip for sure. So these would be my 3 products that I could possibly not live without. And if you guys want to see me do a tutorial on how I style or I wear these products, please let me know. Let me know in the comment section if you guys have any questions about what products you would prefer, any questions about Fenty in general, and I'm more than happy to leave you guys a comment in the section down below. Don't forget to share this video video with other girls and guys also, really, because you never know who might be gifting you. I am so glad you made it to the end of this video. I will be seeing you guys in my next video.